The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a almost 10-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Kids are better at gaming. The dads drop off at some point. I don't know if there's a particular age. Do you have a guess as to when the kid moons over their dad?
You know, I hope it's like long term. It can't be anything like recent, right? We're talking over 10, right?
Man, we'll have to keep an eye on a story, but the reason I bring this up is a story came across our desk. It was a 14-year-old Call of Duty Warzone player carries dad to duos world record. That's the headline. 14-year-old Call of Duty Warzone player carries dad to duos world record.
I mean, at that age, you just hope they carry the garbage, and this one's just winning world records.
Yeah. Oh man, that's one of my favorite burns I ever saw inside of a gaming chat, where it's just like, "Don't worry, guys, my day job is as a janitor." They're like, "Why does that have to do anything? I'm used to carrying trash."
Oh, jeez. Smack talk.
But the biggest one here is they got the world record that they set. It was 76 kills in duos. So, you and one other, so I guess a dad and son duo ganged up. The son had 61 kills of 60 of the 79, and the dad had 18.
It's just embarrassing.
It's just he gets the record. His name is in there.
Yep.
It's like, are you winning, son? Well, not thanks to you, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. You're bringing me down, Dad. I mean, I'm doing all the work here.
Oh, I could be the next ninja over this way, and you're just dragging me down. But I'd be curious to know the relationship, because if the son just wants to play with his dad and they have a lot of fun and it's great, or if the dad's kind of, "No, son, we need to get this. You need to study because I suck at this."
Yeah, that's right.
What the dynamics would be of a amazing son player and a bad father player.
Yeah. It would be interesting to hear kind of the backstory on it. What kind of precipitated this event? Was the dad all ready to go and he invited the son in come on.
Yeah, that's one of his first times playing it too. He's like, "Oh, sure, son, come try my adult game," and he just destroys it and gets a world record. But man, that's just so funny to see, and I love seeing these type of stories pop up now that gaming has become so prevalent and kind of as an activity for dads and sons.
Yeah, and in past episodes we always talk about esports, right? And that's a legitimate career path for a lot of these things. So, this 14-year-old might have something on his hands where he's making college fund already, no problem.
Yeah. Have you received shade from your kids for recently we talked about your LAN party with Stardew Valley?
Yeah.
Did your kids ever give you grief? It's like, "Come on, Dad, these crops suck. You're bringing down the team."
Absolutely. There's a fishing mechanic in there, and I can't catch fish for the life of me because it's too twitchy. I can't, my reaction time's gone. Yeah, they'll give me smack. Of course they will. I'm like, well, all right, well, here we go.
Well, you're grounded, so.
I hold the power still, so.
Well, you just lost your allowance.
Yeah, I don't know. What about you? There's got to be something, right? It's just...
it's more... So I remember with Luigi's Mansion, there was this one part, I didn't realize that if you hit both triggers, your Luigi could actually jump. And we came across a couple bosses where we died a few times just because he kept doing this wave maneuver and, we're getting slammed. So he ends up watching, during a little bit of YouTube time at night, he's watching a game. He's watching Luigi Mansion because he's so deep in that game. And he finds out from this channel that if you press both triggers, Luigi will jump. So he brought that back to me, as information, which is like, wow, that's amazing, son. And then we proceeded to beat the boss, and now he reminds me of it all the time.
Wow.
it's like, yeah, remember you didn't know, and then I find it, and then I got you. Then we won because of me. I'm like. Yeah, you sure did, son.
That is like throwing clean up your room back in your face, right? I told you to clean up your room.
Yeah.
And he's like, how I told you about the triggers.
I really won it for us. So
wow.
You got me, son. So it did happen a little bit. But man, kudos to that duo. That would be entering a gaming tournament with your kid, as long as they go in with the right attitude. So it's not, if we don't lose, I'm gonna have to hear about it at the supper table for months.
Yeah, right.
Oh, sorry, if we do lose, have to hear about it. But man, if you could just, hey, Dad, let's go. Let's enter this. Can we enter this gaming tournament together?
Yeah, that's the dream, man. I don't know. I've been to a kind of a game arena with the kids, just as an expo, and just like the atmosphere there is kind of cool. So even doing something like hopefully in person one day would be great. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Like that seems like the ultimate gaming dad right there. So
yeah, I've trained him since he was born for this moment.
Yeah, that's right.
Now so speaking of this moment and train them since they're born, having family time, family games, I'd noticed from yourself with a couple of posts that you'd gotten into what seems like a bizarre family game night choice with ManEater, the shark, open world simulator.
Yeah, like it's about sharks and family of the sea, kind of. So maybe it's kind of
sure
teaching about underwater life.
So how did you get into it, and what are your impressions, and was it good as far as like family play?
So ManEater is free for a PS Plus game, so barrier of entry is pretty low for me, and I never would have bought this game before. So it was free. So, well, part of the subscription. So that's how I kind of downloaded it. And I don't know, shark game, it's kind of different. I only remember, I think Jaws had a game way back when, and it's just a different mechanic, kind of a mindless thing. And it kind of does, like if anyone's ever played Carmageddon, it's kind of like that. It just, again, mindless, for lack of a better word, just violence. It's pretty brutal, but it is all natural-ish. Like you are a shark, you hunt down, fish, turtles, and all that stuff to grow bigger and evolve yourself, so you get bigger fins and kind of abilities, and there's some human aspect to it where you grab humans.
So there's violence, but it's like nature documentary violence in a sense.
It's
not like humans, guns. It certainly is better than like humans and guns. Well, as in you take a gun and you murder people and there's blood, which kind of crosses a certain violence line, as opposed to an animal eats another animal, right?
Yeah, and like there's like, it teaches you about apex predators of different regions. So that's kind of cool to see. There is somebody hunting you, and if you eat enough humans, they bring out hunters. So like they are like, there are guns that way. In terms of like, again, my kids are a little bit older, so 10 and 7. I felt like they could handle this just with all the other stuff they play. So it was a good family experience in that they wanted me to play it. It's, again, only single player. They wanted to sit down and watch the shark grow, because you can grow in different ways. There's different evolution streams. They always wanted to like see how that worked, which is great. It was like a fun time for 30 minutes every day for them to spend. And again, it peppers you with a lot of shark facts. So there is some education in there. Like they did learn.
We're learning.
Yeah. So, but in the end, like my youngest decided to take our experience to his virtual classroom in school. And because everybody's in lockdown, I can hear what he says. And everybody was asked what they did over the weekend.
Oh, no.
And basically my kid just said, we played ManEater. And you can hear on the other end of the line, like, okay, the teacher's probably going, oh my God.
No. What the heck is that?
What is that? Is it a movie? Oh my God. Like, what is it relating to? It's probably not good. So I gave him the dirtiest look, because I'm like right here by working. So
my eyebrow goes through the roof.
Like, what are you doing?
It's so raised.
This is not public.
Come on, you narc. What is this?
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know about his class. I don't know what their limits are for these type of games. But the teacher on the other end was like, kind of played it off like, oh, were you a zombie? Were you going around and like attacking people and stuff? I'm like, all right, maybe the teacher's a little bit cool. That's kind of neat. Or maybe she's just trying to like move along.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
All right, teacher's cool. Very nice.
Yeah. So it went well with the kids for that age group. I would not recommend it if you have kids that are not exposed to any sort of blood, because there's blood in it. And creatures you have to eat and stuff. So it is food chain stuff. So I wouldn't recommend it to anybody that is not comfortable. But in the school stuff, kind of relating to our next game, My kid, the one that mentioned ManEater to his teacher, was caught a long time ago playing Roblox in a different tab during school. So
that's my favorite gaming story. It's just so, because you want to be angry at it, but there's just that little part of you that's like,
kind of proud.
Yeah, way to go, buddy. That's my boy.
Right?
Never do it again.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
My boy.
Yeah. Yeah. So Roblox is a big game for a lot of kids. And I don't know if you're getting into it now, but there is a definite phase where everybody hits it.
I'm really glad we decided on a topic, because I want to ask you about it, because tangentially, like from the outside, I have an awareness of it. Like I've seen, most notably because I'll go through like a Shoppers Drug Mart or something, and I'll see Roblox purchase cards. I'm like, okay, that's something. Because I mean, at the same time, there's Steam cards. There's of course Fortnite cards.
Yep.
So it's not like, so clearly there's like an in-game currency. Then I've seen some YouTube videos about it. I've seen a whole creator economy space. When I was trying to think about, my kid would be just on the cusp of starting to do it, and it looks cartoonish. It looks kind of silly, and it kind of looks creative though. But I guess I'm also concerned like how predatory it is, and I didn't even really have a good understanding of how it works or where it works. Like if it's mobile, PC, Switch, everywhere. So like, if you can give me a rundown, and the gaming dad's here, like what on earth? Like what? Yeah, how would you? Man, that's too big of a question. I'm trying to think about like, where do you play? Where can you play it? And you yourself, you and your kids, where do you play Roblox, and how much is it costing you? Let's start there.
Okay, so you can play, or at least where we played Roblox was on a tablet. So it is iOS.
Okay.
So you can play on a tablet. It's not great on a tablet, but you can play it.
Now, do you purchase it from? Is it free to download, or do you buy it?
It's free to download. So there's a caution around that, because usually the App Store is linked to your credit card. So there are in-game purchases, so we can go into that in a little bit. But yeah, it's free to start. There is a browser-based one. So like we touched on before with my son playing it during class in a tab. It's a literal that's the best tab of a browser. So it can be done through there. It's usually like, if you're on PC, it's like a launcher. So it launches either in its own kind of like window, or you can go to the actual like site itself and play it within a browser window. So that's how my kids play with it. I think it's available for the Xbox, but I don't think it's on Nintendo, and I don't think it's on Sony. Just with the amount of stuff that, again, is in it. It's kind of hard to explain what Roblox is, but it is free to start. So you can get in, you get your feet wet. There are in-game purchases and paywall purchases within many different games. So Roblox is kind of like this umbrella of all these little mini games that either the company itself comes out with or people create. So the way my kids got into it is just like, everybody kind of talked about it at recess, and it was about a specific game within Roblox. And then when they wanted to start Roblox, they knew where to go. Because when you kind of log in, you're faced with like a splash page of just what I call shovelware. It's just icons. It's just stuff. And you have no idea what's good, what's bad, and what applies to different age groups. But I will say...
Is that the same experience on... That same initial experience? So you download Roblox, it's free.
Yeah.
Not on every platform, most of them. Is mobile phones as well? Do you happen to know?
I'm not sure on mobile phones. I'm not sure.
I check mine really quick. But for the various places that you have accessed it, is it the exact same, like...
Same interface.
To be honest, god-awful experience when you first log in?
Yeah, it's just it's a lot at once. So it's just like, again, this landing page, a bunch of icons in front of your face that represent the different kind of games within Roblox, or use the Roblox. I can think of Roblox as like an engine. So it's all those that use the engine of Roblox.
Right. So you download Roblox, and then it's like, congratulations, you now have almost like the Roblox system. Or like, and then from this, like, which game do you want to load in Roblox? Roblox is almost like a console that you're downloading, and now I'm gonna play this game on Roblox or this game on Roblox.
Yeah.
Do you have an avatar that's persistent across all of them?
Yeah. Sorry, you make up your own little like character, I guess. It's kind of like a Nintendo
quick,
Wii.
quick interjection. Yeah, so it is on iOS at least. iPhones.
Oh, okay.
Is there as well. So I'd imagine it's on Android.
Yeah, I would assume. It's probably pretty small on a phone though. So
yeah, it's a lot going on.
Yeah, but no, you log in, you create like a little me character, like akin to Nintendo, just something that represents you. There's a lot of parental controls. I will give Roblox that. There's a lot of stuff you can lock down. If the account's under, I think, like 13 or something, you have to sign up as a parent. So I think they have that kind of locked down. I was worried about the chat. I think that's a legit concern on any kind of always online game because there's no AI that I know of. It's all other players. So you're constantly playing against other people. So you can lock down all that stuff, all the chat windows. No one can add as a friend unless you approve it, all that stuff. Even a PIN number to get into it if you want to lock down the game, which we did. Again, with our youngest, we just locked down a PIN. Just as a note, though, it's almost impossible to cancel an account, or I found it very difficult to delete it. So that's why we changed the PIN number to kind of stop him from using it. It's almost like you have to email their service and like a phone. I don't know, something. Yeah. It's not easy, or I didn't find it easy.
So Roblox is a collection of community-created mini games.
Yep.
That you create an avatar for, and then you could download and play any of these ones, and it's available on every single platform across it. It's free to play. The idea being there's monetization, so you purchase in-game items, I guess, like for your avatar, and then also I understood that you can actually purchase games themselves, like more premium ones.
Yeah, so there's a whole creation side to it, where the more premium games or more, say somebody that's popular puts out a game, they can paywall it, or they can paywall items within the game. So think Call of Duty-esque, like if you want a certain, like we're watching a video about a cat, if you want a certain cat skin or a cat breed, that might be paywalled with the in-game currency, which costs real money. So there's a whole other microtransaction thing that you have to be aware of.
So getting past all that, so what's your take on it? Like, do you hate Roblox? Do you think it's generally kind of a force for good? Like, what's your take? Because it is massive. It's probably one of the biggest gaming success stories besides Fortnite out there, and very targeted towards kids. So I'm just like, what, as a dad, like, are you happy your kids play this? Like, what's your take on it?
Brutal honesty, I think it's junk. To be honest, like, it's just
it's hot garbage.
It's just not. I don't know. It doesn't really teach them much. I look for games that kind of have that dexterity, or they're building like skill levels of some sort, like eye-hand coordination, and maybe some of that's in here, but it's just like there's no rhyme or reason to a lot of the games. And I get that it's kind of like this creation tool, and sometimes kids just want to goof off with a game like this. It's kind of like a mobile game, right? It's just some of those things that they just want to zone out. So I don't think the game itself is very good. I did find it a good starter for online interaction with their friends. So if you find out that they have friends online with this platform, I think it's a good tool because of all the parental controls, and it even like scratches out swear words and all that stuff automatically. It's a good first go at online interaction with other friends. So it's a good platform.
How do you connect with friends? Like, I found the doing it with Minecraft to be somewhat complicated as far as like connecting to other people and like getting into it. Is it how difficult is it for to connect to a friend? Like, your friend plays Roblox, I play Roblox. How, like, can you connect? My kids, your kids play. How can you connect them?
You'd have online to know my username or my kid's username, so his alias. Once you know that, you can search, and it'll just kind of like PlayStation Network. You can search an alias, and it'll come up with whatever kind of matches, and then you kind of match whatever that person gave you. So the aliases are usually pretty unique, and you can pretty much find your friends easily that way. There's no other way that I found is a good way, because otherwise you unlock parental controls and you can say, hey, meet me in this game, and you go in, there's a bunch of other people that and you might be able to add friends that way, but again, that unlocks other people from doing like to do that as well. So you don't. I wanted to control that, so you have to know people's kind of handles when they go on. So
okay, so it's kind of like a naming system, but it's not overly arduous to be able to find.
No, and that might be something that you kind of set them up with, and then they're good. They're golden from there, right? So you don't have to worry about it too much.
Yeah, because it's one thing. Local kids around here, family friend of ours, their kids were going to start getting into Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'd thought about too, where it'd be kind of sweet to have, and times when they do get together, they'll be playing with their action figures, Legos, all those other parts. So if they're having kind of a creative session inside of Minecraft, I thought that would be kind of nice. So I was starting to prepare myself for,
right.
Making sure it gets installed on a couple systems, make sure they can all kind of connect and get into a world. That was a whole extra thing I needed to sort out, is how exactly to connect and prepare sort of a gaming space for kids within Minecraft.
Yeah.
Good. It would kind of sound like if there's a way to get your kid away from Roblox and into Minecraft, it would be kind of it'd save you some aggravation. This does kind of seem like some pretty hot garbage. Like I don't want to like insult it, but it's just, it really does. It feels a bit predatory. And then so the thing we're looking at now, so we're watching a video of some stuff going online. This one's called Piggy.
Yeah.
And it looks like a riff on Friday Night at Freddy's in a sense.
Yep.
And there's like some gore on the titles.
Yep.
And so like wrapped inside of this kind of kiddie aesthetic of an online game play place is, kind of like this host of garbage. It feels, not to mention like the Among Us theft, where they had a full working Among Us inside of it, a Fortnite version.
Yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's, like you kind of said, like there's a lot of that stuff that a lot of people take over. I don't know how they get away with trademarks kind of things, because there's a lot of like Mario-esque games, right? So they might not use, like Mario would look kind of like Mario, not itself, but all that stuff exists and it goes on and on and on, and it gets popular. It's not like nobody's aware of it. So yeah, I think of this as like almost like the Duplo blocks to Minecraft being Lego blocks. I think Minecraft's just like, yeah, there's a barrier of entry, but like that's the quality you get. I think that's to stop a lot of the garbage that comes out of the freemium space. So
yeah, just open it. Like it's wonderful when something has a creator, because you can enable some really interesting, artistic, smart people to create some kind of enjoyable experiences. Then you have everybody else just creating whatever diarrhea comes out of their head.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, this exists now.
Yeah.
And I have to see it.
Right.
I got to deal. And just knowing like if I don't watch my kid, if he's been allowed a little bit of like screen time and he goes on YouTube, and if I'm not careful and if I'm not watching him, like he goes down some really awful rabbit holes on YouTube with some of these like gaming streamers that target kids.
Yeah.
So I'm just imagining like how much he would enjoy some hot Roblox garbage. Or just if I leave him alone and all of a sudden I've paid like $50 for the world's like grossest level.
Yeah.
Just so.
Yeah. Like I don't know. It's just like you said, it's kind of like a rabbit hole. So if you went on YouTube and went down the rabbit hole of stuff, that's what Roblox is, or it can be. There is a creator side to it though, that we didn't get into because my kids weren't interested in it. But you can create your own Roblox games, like you mentioned, and make money, like actual money off it, because you can paywall it yourself. So people just do that to make their buck. But I don't know, man. I just don't.
Yeah,
it's not
that. So I think, well, gaming dads, take your own decision upon it. But I'd say that kind of serves as a warning as to what you're getting into. Obviously, if your kids' friends all play it, you're going to have to be playing it as well. But it certainly seems like something you have to keep an eye on, both from a online predatory standpoint, online monetization standpoint. Make sure you're not losing your money. Yeah. And just like quality too, because if you just get into some gross, again, diarrhea nonsense levels, you don't want your kid playing that.
No,
your kid's not going to carry you to a world record in Call of Duty Warzone by playing this Roblox nonsense. Come on.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, go play ManEater. I mean,
a kid-friendly ManEater game. That's right. Discovery Channel. Let's learn something.
There you go.
Sharks.
Shark Week,
folks. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to cleanse the palate in a sense, just with a kind of a small throwaway story where I think everybody has had a bad printer. If you've ever owned a printer, you've owned a bad printer. Printers suck. Right? So this week's sponsor. No, I'm kidding.
I was about to say, like, who do we hook up?
Yeah, just no. But what our terrible printer like truly died, and we're trying to like kick it past the finish line because we did not want to buy a new one, but there was enough things we needed to print for homeschooling and even our own document needs. Okay, great. We'll have to bite the bullet, get a new printer. A more recent one is this HP unit, and it has this really nice subscription service where it's a smart printer that goes on your network and it kind of monitors how much you're actually printing. And if you need ink, it's got this, it's for $1 or $2, it sends you new cartridges.
Oh, wow.
So it's super cheap, and it only does that if you actually need it. So it's not going to just, hey, here's like 50 more printing. Yeah, but it's honestly not an ad for HP. The reason I bring it up is that my son absolutely adores coloring. Right, so like he constantly wants like new pages and new pages. So we got him coloring books, things like that. We would draw with him. We followed along a couple tutorials with him to get him to draw as well. That's been a real pleasant, enjoyable experience in our house. And what the mental shift that's happened because we got a good printer that we don't really care about the ink because the ink is a bit more affordable.
Right, is
the wild selection of coloring pages online.
Oh yeah.
So he'll kind of just have this desire. It's like, hey, I want to color Spider-Man. I want to color Mario and Luigi. I want to color Venom. Whatever it is. It's like, yeah, come on over. And I can show him like, online, there exists, well, it's not like, therefore here's a computer.
Yeah.
Have at it. But more just the fact that like, if you want something like that, there's a way to kind of search for it and let's go through it together. Okay, let's print this one and print this one and print this one. And then now all of a sudden he's kind of taken part in this selection process. He's printed, 6 pages and goes off just happy as can be, coloring, having that kind of physical interaction. I love it. I couldn't believe it because it's this happy, enjoyable experience with a printer. Yeah. How is that possible? Who knew?
No, that's like, again, my kids were really into coloring with the, they would do the math problems to figure out the color. So like, simple addition, like 2 + 3 is the black. So you'd have to find all the 5s or whatever on the page with black. And our printer bit the dust because it works off, like it's just some, Walmart brand. But when you run out of one color, it just stops, right? So to find a printer that actually like orders it yourself and doesn't take advantage of your credit card and just orders you 50 kind of thing, then, that's a pass in my book as a parent. Just one less thing to worry about, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's smart too because smart in the sense that because it's a connected printer. Yeah, I can also just do it from my phone. Like anybody who has access to the network has access to this printer, which means that if we're finishing up dinner and he wants to do a coloring thing, we can pull up our phone. Not have to drag out a computer, find a photo, send it off to print. Off we go. Again, everything is really great. So I suppose it was just, if anything, for the dads. Like the reason I want to bring it up is just. If you are in the market for a printer, research a decent one and kind of like the new reasons for it, because what's really great in having a working one in the house is how much it enables you when you get past that limitation. We have to. It's time to print. Ugh. Yeah. I'm probably out of ink. It's probably gonna like rip up the paper. Like this is how much does this cost me? Ink is so unbelievably expensive. So if you can get past that, there's all these like really interesting resources online that can kind of enable you and your kid to have these experiences. So just for a tip, I suppose, outside the gaming realm for gaming dads out there, if and when you have to look into a printer, spend some time doing the research because it can be a game changer. It's been fantastic for our house as far as what we've been able to do for schoolwork, coloring, and everything else.
Well, so that's a good tip. And I will say, if you have a Nintendo account, they give out coloring pages like every month. I get an email from them saying, hey, print out
No
these
way.
things. Yeah.
I had no idea because he's so huge into Nintendo coloring. I had no idea that you can actually get it from. So you subscribe to their email newsletter, or is it on their website?
It's probably on their website too. But if you're like, have an account with them and you click the button to keep up to date with email stuff, they send me something like, here's, how many coins you have in your account, and here's some coloring pages for whatever game is usually out that's part of their promotions, right? So I don't know about the quality of them, but they're there, and we don't print them because, again, our printer sucks. So I'm hoping maybe you could take advantage and
there we go.
You're kicking good off, yeah.
I'll take advantage and I will report back. That actually sounds fantastic. I didn't know there was an official stream. All my stuff comes from questionable.
Yeah, I know, right?
Questionable Pinterest pages and other sources where I'm trying to find my I'm trying to find my printing pages. Yeah. But we'll end on that high note here. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you like the podcast and you like to subscribe, you can find us on Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and any of the other podcasting services. Just look for New Dad Gaming. If you do find us, would really appreciate a subscription, a recommendation, and a rating. That helps us out really greatly. If you want to get a hold of us, you can find us at our website, newdadgaming.com. You can also find us on social media at New Dad Gaming. Would love to hear your own gaming stories, be it your young kid carrying you to gaming glory on any number of games, a surprise family hit like ManEater, or Roblox horror stories, perhaps the worst Roblox story that you're living through. So until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old.
All right. See you next week.
All right. See ya.